Ashley Baer, Preflux assignment number 3. Hi. What's your full name?
David Said Georgieff.
Said, that's a really interesting name. Where does it come from?
It was actually my dad's name, my alleged dad. It's Middle Eastern. His name was Said Mavarako, and when I was born, my mom gave me his name as a middle name.
Now, why do you say alleged dad?
My mom likes to state that she was promiscuous when she was younger. And when she was in college, actually going to U of O, she met Said Mavarako, who was an engineering student, exchange student, at Oregon State University, and they met at the Civil War game because my mom went into the opposing stands to antagonize them. And they started dating. And Valentine's Day rolled around, and 9 months later, here I am. Alleged dad, because my mom was dating another guy at the time. And I didn't find out about this until I was like 14. So I was like, oh, great, Mom, thank you.
So what's your mom like? She seems interesting.
My mother is lovingly called a free spirit by many. She's 42 going on 16 half the time.
How so?
Just very girlish still in a lot of ways. Immature, but, you know, kid at heart in a good way a lot of the time as well, you know. She's a character. She's a really big character, and it's great because, you know, my mom is still relevant in ways. But, like, I guess growing up I was always the mature one because my mom was the immature one, I always thought. And, you know, she's always been my mom. She's always loved me. She's always made sure I was taken care of. And, you know, she was a young mother, so she's had brain trauma from a severe accident when I was like 3. And it kind of retarded a couple aspects of her, not in the bad sense, but, you know, it damaged a couple sections of her brain. Like, I was always smart growing up, you know, the bright kid.
Yeah.
And I asked my uncle one time what was my mom like before the crash, and he's like, you know, your mom was, you always wonder why you're, you know, where you get your genes from and stuff. Your mom was bright. Your mom was sharp as a tack when she was young. Just this really kind of scathing, sharp humor, you know, very sarcastic, quick one-liners. Always the person making the underhanded remarks. You're like, you just insulted me, but I don't quite know how yet, you know?
Yeah.
The jokes you got on the way to the car. Always very smart throughout school, you know, did well in college. But after the accident, it's really sad because she suffered from amnesia for quite a while, and after that, she recovered, but she has her good points and she has her bad points, and the doctor said eventually it would just be more bad than good. She has whole sections of her life she can't remember. Every year she would introduce herself to my teacher at the teacher conferences throughout school. I'd have the teacher like for 4 years, you know, because they'd be a music teacher, a PE teacher. And my mom will have met them 5 times before, and every time she'll introduce herself to them and ask their name. And they all ask me, you know, is your mom okay? I'm like, yeah, she just, you know, she doesn't remember people.
Yeah.
Never gets to joke now. My sister and I will make a comment, and the whole room will bust up laughing because my sister is very sarcastic as well. And my mom will sit there and like, I don't get it. And then half an hour later, like, we'll be doing something, my mom will go, oh, that's good, you know?
Yeah.
And it's sad because to know what she was and what she is now, and just the reasoning, you know, she doesn't reason that well sometimes too.
Yeah. So what's your relationship like with her?
It's good, you know. It's hard because my mom's so immature sometimes, because she's very young still in a lot of ways. Like, she's 42 and she has this conflict of she doesn't want to get old. She doesn't want to feel old, but, you know, her body is getting old, and she wants to be treated with the respect of a mother of four, and a 42-year-old woman. But because my uncle and my grandfather, because she was basically a child for her recovery period, and because she's fallen on hard times, because she can't work because of her disability, like she's had to be taken care of for a long period. And my uncle and my grandfather don't help because they tend to look at her as a child still. They treat her like they're 12, and it's infuriating half the time. And to the point where like they'll ask her where she's going and tell her to be back by 10 and stuff like that. And so my mom, being the rabble rouser she is, because she doesn't want to be treated that way, makes it a point to upset them.
Yeah.
And she makes it a point to seek out conflict. And it's just people antagonizing other people because they were antagonized. An eye for an eye and everyone goes blind, as Gandhi said,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of blind people in my family sometimes.
What's the rest of your family like? You mentioned that your mom's a mother of four, and you talk about your grandfather and uncle a lot. How do they all play into the picture?
Well, my uncle is under the impression he's the only sane person in the family, the only reasonable one. And he really looks down on my mom a lot. And I think he looks down on my siblings and I because, because we love our mom still. And because, she's our mother and we have to give her the respect of a mother, And because he can't respect her at all, he gets upset at us that we respect her. My mom absolutely hates my uncle because of this, and it's only gotten worse since my grandfather had a stroke.
When was that?
God, I don't remember. October, maybe? Yeah, October, I believe.
This year or last year?
Of last year.
So 2006? Because it's 2008 now. Was it October 2007 or October 2008?
I don't remember.
Or 2006?
It was over the summer, I think. God, sorry, I have a terrible memory as well. But I remember getting the call, he had a stroke and rushing home. And, my grandfather, just this really rigorous old man, as long as I can remember, the scary janitors, Chinese janitors, people referred to him at the middle school where he worked. Gets up at the crack of dawn and just starts working, and he wears me out, and he would get my friend Roman to come over and help him out too, and just wear Roman out as well. And but Grandpa liked his lifestyle. He didn't drink as much anymore, but he still had a shot every now and then when hanging out with friends. Drank like a fish when he was younger. Smoked since he's been smoking since he was 13, 14. Had a stroke, still smokes. Still connives someone to take him out and give him a cigarette. Womanizer. Shut up a second.